In today's video, I want to talk about something that may affect you if you are a British citizen that is married to a foreigner. So, let's get into the video. If you haven't already heard the news, the UK government has introduced a 5-point plan to cut down on immigration. I'm not going to talk about all those points, but there is one particular point which is of concern to me. And if you're a British citizen, then it should be of concern to you, especially if you are married to a foreigner, or perhaps planning to be married to a foreigner. I'll bring up the article for you now, which states the following. Family visas. The minimum threshold for a family visa will also be raised to £38,700 to ensure people only bring dependents whom they can support financially. Currently, it stands at the 2012 rate of £18,600. So, what does this mean? It means that any British citizen wishing to marry a foreigner is required to have a salary of at least £38,700. So that's an increase of at least £20,000 in your salary. The national median average salary in the UK is around £34,000. So it's below the 38,000 required by the government. So if you're married to a foreigner, such as a Filipina like I am, and are on a salary of less than £38,700, then you are not able to live with your partner in the UK, according to those new measures. This also has an impact on people who are already living in the UK and are required to renew their spouse visa. So it's not just new applications, but it also impacts renewals as well. I've read many stories this week of people in the United Kingdom who are living with their foreign partners that are now worried about these new measures which are coming into place. Let's have a look at one of these stories which I pulled from Sky News. A mother of 2 young children, Polly D. Tucson, hopefully I pronounced that right, and her husband are one of many couples whose lives have been plunged into uncertainty this week. She told Sky News she had moved back to Manchester with their children after the pair met in Thailand and lived for 8 years. Sarok is currently in the UK on a visitor visa, but will have to leave in the coming weeks. And so the plan for him was to apply for a family visa once Polly was settled and was on the salary of £18,600. But now everything is up in the air. We don't know what to do at this point. Either we separate our family or we have no choice but to leave the UK again. Isn't that sad that you're a British citizen and you're being left with the choice of having to possibly leave the UK? These measures will ruin the lives of many people living in the UK that are married to foreigners if they do not meet the salary requirements. People who are married should have the right to live together, shouldn't they? And not be separated. The government shouldn't have the right to break up a family unit. But what does this mean for myself and Tina? Well, as many of you know, I've been living in the Philippines for 18 months, or over 18 months now, and we married Tina October 2022. Well, we had been making plans about visiting the UK. We initially applied for Tina to come to the UK on a tourist standard visitor visa, just to spend a few weeks there at Christmas, so she could meet my family as well. But guess what, guys? The British Home Office denied the standard visitor visa, that they denied Tina a tourist visa. And the reason was that she was free to visit me in any other country. So even though I'm with her, even though I would be acting as her sponsor, even though she would be living with me and my parents in the UK for a few weeks just, she was denied. So it seems even entering the UK on a tourist visa is difficult now. We then changed our plans once that was denied. We then made a new plan of coming to the UK, of bringing Tina across on a spouse visa. So the plan was that I would go home and work for a few months while Tina would continue working here. And then once I had built up 6 months worth of pay slips, I could then proceed with applying to bring her across. Because the salary requirement at that point in time was £18,700, I think. And then, just the last few weeks, the government changed it. So it would have been quite easy for me to go home, get a job with a salary range of between £18,000 to £24,000. That wouldn't have been difficult at all. But now the government have highered the standards so that really only people from a certain background, of a very affluent background, lawyers, teachers, nurses, that kind of thing, really only those types of people can afford to bring a foreign partner into the UK. Like many other British citizens, married to foreigners, our plans are up in the air. And so the British government is planning to bring this into law in April 2024. And so here's hoping that there will be an appeal against it, that there will be a legal challenge against it, that somehow it will be blocked from coming through. I just wanted to make you aware of those changes to the UK visa laws, and you can do more reading about that online. So if you enjoyed this video, if you found this information helpful, then please like, share and subscribe. So if you're a British citizen, or if you're a foreigner that's married to a British citizen, then leave us a comment below and tell us your circumstances. That's all for now. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.